night. You know what that means? Bonus content. Ordinarily, there's my commitment to waking up. I wash my face. Serious. Ordinarily, waking up is hard for me to do. Often, falling asleep is hard for me to do. So when I wake up and I feel awake, I can't jump back into sleep. So I might as well just embrace it. Years ago, when I was streaming more often on Twitch, I would often do streams in the middle of the night as that sort of second sleep thing where you do something for a little bit and then sleep again. I don't have any work commitments tomorrow, Sunday, today. I do have a fun commitment, a hangout commitment, sometime after 11, but I hope that that goes smoothly. I mean, it should not require a lot of effort, and it's with an understanding person. So some of the some of what I've been talking about lately are how I'm what I'm learning doing this move. I've talked about how, you know, like if I were normal, I'd probably toss this, but it's the only time I ever made one of those museum style signs for a show. And I like it, you know? And I have a storage unit. So is this the best use of my time and energy? Well, I should be asleep and I don't have much energy, so maybe. So yeah, I've been talking about time, my relationship with time. I'm slow and I thought about it again yesterday because I socialized, which is not easy for me to do. And um, it was this real, like, long, pointless in the sense of, I mean, we were in a pool. There was like nothing, just jabber. And then it felt to me like the other two people knew, maybe they had commitments, but they just sort of like knew when they wanted the socializing to end. And within a short span of time to me, had just, I mean, one person left like super fast. And I've, I've like struggled with endings. I mean, I'm tempted to say forever. Um, and there are times when I've been in relationships or been, I mean, relationships means more than love. Um, I'm doing this well. Let's bring it closer to the table. I mean, I talked yesterday about how I like to do things slowly and carefully, and I don't feel that that is tolerated. um, and when I feel rushed to accommodate others' timelines, I make mistakes, I make errors. And I mean errors as big as, uh, well, I mean things like leaving my wallet or keys behind somewhere. I cannot just quickly shift my thinking from one setting to another. I feel just really immersed in, I don't know, it's just weird. And it's sort of tempting to describe the way I am as neurodivergent. Like, what are the ways that I don't fit in? Those are my. Why is this so hard for me? Take the tape off. Well, number one, it involves tape, which I absolutely hate. And number two, it involves some kind of weird geometry that seems like it should be easy because it's just a long rectangle, but somehow ends up not staying squared. It would be better for me if it were on a flat surface table. All the flat surfaces are, of course, occupied. No, I'm not good at wrapping packages. What was the giveaway? I mean, all of the, it's not an accident that I'm an abstract painter. Not only do I like, it's a protest against having to do things neatly and exactly, which is funny because I'm talking about how I like being careful. And okay, I don't want to tape. This is the problem. I don't want to tape on the actual object. I want to create an envelope. And so I only want the thing taped to itself. Isn't there a bigger one of these pieces of plastic? Okay, well, first of all, it seems like I should put the seam on the back side. That's a good start. And I could tape it against the thing itself, but I still don't want to because it's probably going to be stored for a long time. This is not going to work right. What about taping it temporarily while I assemble it? So, like, this is how my brain works slowly. And like I said, I guess you could call it a defect, but it's the only way that I get results that please me. So, so what's the defect? God damn, this thing is crooked. It could be OCD. I'm so unhappy right now. Since there's no table, we've got the floor, even though the floor is difficult for this injured man. Oh, or I could move things to use the tables, but it feels like my whole life is moving like doing things I don't want to do in order to get to the thing that I want to do. And I really am just like in awe, not in admiration, but in awe of other people who just do things that look to me thoughtless. I mean, I could be complimentary and say that they're in flow state, but it's not like there's literally no one living who I see and think that's the person I want to copy. So, yes, all of that sounds incredibly self important. I could sit on this since getting all the way to the floor is difficult for me. The wheels will probably fuck me up, but let's give it a try. I've also got a stool in there. Oh, so, something that's fun about. Oh, I think I should be on the side with the wheels that move. And I can reposition myself more easily. And I think taking off these slippery shoes is a good idea. So, what you're watching is the way my mind works. And obviously, it makes sense to me because it's the only one I know. And so I've always felt really alienated by the fact that I don't know anyone else. remotely like me. And oftentimes that leads to compliments of my intellect or creativity. But as I'm showing, there's so much difficulty with ways that I don't fit in. And there's been, since people don't talk very much about all the little things, it's just been a mystery to me. And for a long time I felt like, well, if I can talk about ways that I'm weird, then all right, I've fucked up the geometry, but it's back mostly. Then I've always thought, well, there must be other people like me. They just feel like I do. They just feel alone. And sometimes, it's like I feel mad at everyone else because it's just like, why does everyone have to be not like me? Why do they have to be? I think I did something wrong. I did. Yeah, it'll be better if I do. Wait, nope, logic. That starts there. Then it goes. Well, maybe it'll be okay. Believe it or not, geometry was like my best math, but not doing so great with it right now. But I'm really bad at physics. And yet I'm very good at directions and spatial coordination. I had one of those moments yesterday when the young guys were packing, and I just could see the space better than that. I mean, when you hire people to do something, you're letting go of control. So like, and these guys tell me that the storage unit is full. I think probably not by my Tetris mind, but uh, for the state of my back, that's just their department, not mine. So, and like when they were loading a truck with paintings, I mean, I transport paintings a lot. So in my head, I was just thinking, I mean, they looked like comical. Okay, don't stick together tape. Even this is tiring for me, holding my arms up this long. God, I am not well, but I'm working to make it better. I should have had some pre ripped pieces of tape. I think that we are, the things I'm talking about, I think that we are all this way, but we're so idiosyncratic that we're this way about something that other people are not this way about. I mean, one of the guys was having trouble with the tape dispenser that's kind of like a gun. And and like I sympathized by saying, "Oh, tape, it's the bane of my existence." And he was like, "Yeah." But then, like when I concentrate, I can do it, whereas he preferred doing it by hand and using a knife to cut the tape. He absolutely could not work the dispenser. So I ended up doing the taping because when the way he was doing it, every time he cut a piece off, it it got back. It This is terrible. And like maybe he would make fast work of this. I'm just going to go overboard on tape. So when I wake up like that after just a few hours, I usually say that pain woke me up, which is logical. Okay, so what I'm doing is not like I think a normal way to do it would be to put it where you want it and get the exact amount that you want, but that feels too hard for me. So I'd rather just have a big thing of tape. Also, I'm using their tape, which honestly seems shittier than mine. And I've got plenty of tape. Maybe their top priority is, since it's painter's tape, is that it peels off quickly and without residue. And maybe that means that it's the least sticky. I do have tons of tape, but can I find the tape that I want to find? There it is. It's been really difficult for me to find things during this move. But yeah, I wish there were a place to put this. So one of the things about neurodivergence, and it'll sound like I'm ashamed of it, but like when I was looking for a thing and I moved my hands like, oh, you couldn't see it anyway, but I did something that looked kind of autistic. I don't like the way I don't like the way it's talked about. I don't like the way, positively and negatively, I don't like the way it's talked about like it's like it's tribalism and people are like seeking their autistic community, almost like bragging about it. I'm not saying people should be ashamed of it. I'm saying I just I see I see labels and lumps and grouping as imprecise. I see us as idiosyncratic and so like coming up with a label and saying like that's your community is both like too broad and too narrow. It's too broad in the sense that, as I say, wait, yeah, that we're idiosyncratic. So, cause like I can remember, um, I mean, I guess I could here freeze your screen, read it. It's so well lit. I can remember. I say it like it's a long time ago. It is a long time ago, and yet it's also constant and ongoing. But it's like from the moment that I was diagnosed with various things, I was looking for community of people who were more like me. But it's really difficult because it's like even when you understand someone or want to, because like, oh, they're going through something that I've gone through, they're not going through it the same way. And it's really hard to be supportive and be friends because, at least for me, and I'm going to assume that it's happened to others, like there are these moments where it's like I end up becoming part of the majority that's like disrespectful of the divergent because it can be really, I mean, take for example depression. I've certainly known it and lived with it, and yet it's still really hard for me to try to be there for someone who's going through it. I mean, I've learned a lot. To me, the way to be there for someone is literally to be there and not try to fix it and not try to, offer advice. And okay, that took a long time, but I think it's pretty much the way I want it. And here I am doing more fine tuning. Why? It's just, I feel like it's not what others would do. And yet I'm imagining I'm so old. I've lived through a lot of moving. I've lived through a lot of creative projects. And I'm just imagining, like, oh, this is the part that'll get snagged on something. All right. Um, yes, my tape is much better than theirs. I don't know why. I think theirs is the name brand and mine isn't. But I mean, that doesn't mean anything nowadays. So I woke up because of pain, I assume. Uh, but, maybe I woke up because of excitement. Maybe I woke up because of sunburn pain. Maybe I woke up because I was thirsty. Mango juice. Maybe it's very likely that something in the audiovisual background that I had playing, maybe something in that changed. And it disturbed me. And I woke up. Okay, so I hate their tape. Good to know. Just put it somewhere else. One of the things I'm using the word hate about working with others is when they have ideas. Um, I asked them to help me by getting boxes that I needed to go through. And then one of them immediately asked a question, and it was so like unexpected to me that I was like, huh? I mean, that's when I issue a command, I want obedience. Um, it just, I wasn't mentally prepared for another brain to throw me with a curveball. I mean, the I'm saying this, I'm using language that sounds like that I don't respect the autonomy of others. I'm trying to say that I find it difficult to do group projects. I'm, I always have. I'm, I'm trying to say when my brain is working its hardest to accomplish something and express it in a certain way, and someone uh, immediately responds with something that makes no sense to me, I don't know what to do. I'm not quick enough. So the question that he asked was, when they brought the stuff that I needed to go through, did I want it on the table? Um, so I feel like his mom really, really told him to do. I don't know, or maybe it's this guy's nature. Like I have a bad back, so like everything they're doing is because of that. I mean, not just a bad back, but like, debilitating. So, But like I say, it's that, or it's just the guy's nature to try to read people's minds and be helpful. Because I mean, these are the types of things that my biggest uh, difficulties with my boyfriend are like when he thinks he knows, when someone is trying to do something for you without asking you, so they're making an assumption and they're doing something that's like odd and not predictable, and so they're going out of their way to do something that they think you want. I mean, I feel the exact same way about like whether it's Clippy, I mean, like the Microsoft, all the computer, like iPhone has changed a certain behavior. And so all of my physical memory that's built up to deal with it the way that it's been for years is now lost because they've decided that they needed to fix something, that they know what I want to do when I click something, and they're wrong. So yeah, like I can't be the only person who gets frustrated when, without asking, people think that they're doing the thing that you want, and it's unexpected and not what you want. So in this case, he asked me if I wanted it on the table, and since I didn't expect that question, I just said yes. Or I mean, I said huh, and then I said yes. But you can see the problem. There's no room to work because it's taking up all of the space on the table. Um, so like, yeah, it's hard for me to lift things, but it's also not 100% impossible. Yeah, I'm complaining. Hmm, I just changed my mind about something. I don't know. I feel like I get a pass. It's not really complaining. I'm actually just trying to understand why relating to others is so difficult. And I'm not like actually mad at the person. Is this what I want to be doing right now? Is there something else I could be doing that would be better use of time? I kind of have to like get into it in order to know. Okay, these are things that they may want to look at. That's cool. People like these vintage lucite jewelry. This is really cool. I know this is set up the absolute worst for your lighting. I can't do it. I mean, it's not like I'm unable to admit what I'm bad at. Um, so it's not that I avoid labels because I think there's nothing wrong with me. But I also do think that I wish I knew someone to give that to. Oh, I was hoping there'd be a clasp. I think it's a little tight to put it on with my headphones. Yeah. So I think that DSM labels can be too broad in the sense that God, all this stuff is so cool. Costume jewelry. I mean, I saved the coolest bits, but then I didn't know where they were for 20 years. If I were at the other side of the table, it'd be better lit. Oh. Oh, stamps. You don't even need to see those. I guess I'll show them to the estate people anyway. They might. So this goes with the. They might have good luck selling stamps. I mean, these are things that I'd love to give to my like nieces if I had any relationship with them. I say that, and I think that other people meaning possibly them, don't understand. To me, in order to have a relationship, you would see each other frequently enough to know things about each other and be in communication. Um, in my family, that doesn't happen. And somehow it's my fault because they're the center of gravity. There are 8 people and I'm one. My mom doesn't count for any, like, in some families, the older person is the center of gravity, but not in this one. In all the years since my sister moved away, just almost never has come back home. I can't show it to you all. And so, I mean, like, I just feel fortunate that they don't hate me because we're not in contact. I mean, maybe I could bring these things to them, but yeah, I'm angry that they've just not made an effort to be part of my life. Like, which makes me like my dad. When my dad made contact, he seemed angry that I had never made an effort to be part of his life. And my attitude was, you're the adult. So I can imagine that my nieces and nephews might feel that way too. The arms are broken. Yeah, there's really no point in me showing you. All right, so let's just. Cute. I mean, I could save these and give them to people, but I'm really bad at giving gifts. I don't know what people want. Yeah, I'm not close to anybody. So, I figure since I'm the common denominator and I'm not close to anybody, it's me. What am I looking for? Hmm. It is upsetting. But then I described this isn't about family. Well, it's about extended family. I described a phone call me reaching out to somebody recently, and it was like the person said all the worst things. I mean, I was describing it to others who were just cracking up at how inappropriate sounding the responses were to me reaching out to this person. And I don't think that I did anything to, I think it's just the way this person is. Okay, I found the ever elusive plastic bag to put the really funky but injured ornament in. Okay, well, I wanted to move the jewelry into this box because it's a effed up box and I could keep the nice one for me to use right now, but there's just too much jewelry, so just toss the effed up box. Yeah, it is really depressing when I talk about relationships with others. Okay, now we need a donation box. Well, let's finish the task at hand first. The New American Encyclopedia. Well, let's see the year. Let's guess. What do you think by looking at it? 64. 48. Don DeLillo's Running Dog. And fuck yes. So anyway, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think that the what enables me to get away with talking bluntly, potentially disrespectfully about others is that I'm not, well, am I? I can't finish a sentence. I was about to say I'm not angry. Um, but I'm sometimes angry, and I've talked about how difficult it is for me to comprehend others, work with others. Well, for whatever extent that it works or doesn't work, or however it sounds, I feel like I don't sound angry. Hmm. Thinking about burning incense just because, I mean, it smells pleasantly enough, so I guess no. It smells pleasant. It doesn't smell pleasantly. That's funny. Giveaway. The question in terms of is this the right thing to be doing right now? The answer is it needs to be done. So sure, why not? This is a ribbon that says Happy Valentine's Day. And you can't read it. Oh my gosh, another a hat, a bucket hat. Am I gonna put this old thing on my head? Why the fuck not? I mean, I bought it when I was younger, but you wouldn't think my head's grown that much. But it was a little too tight. Isn't this? Oh, I was like, Crimea, isn't that a French brand? I think it's like a shitty discount store French brand, not legitimately French. I don't know. That's for warmth. This is for warmth. I'm moving somewhere cold. These were, at one time in my life, my favorite types of shirts. Where whatever. I give up. It's just not possible with this camera. But another one with snaps. I loved snaps. Shorts. Oh my gosh. One time I was really into this clone and I didn't know that I still had it. Let's see if it's gone bad or what. Still smells the same to me. It's Catalyst by Halston. Fun. Where do things from me go? I don't know. I'm kind of going right here. Don't pick it up by just the cap. Garbage. Oh, this is another shirt I loved. It's super thin and it's got some, like, I don't know, exploding phoenix, like an ink blot on it. Where's the garbage? Way over here. Ugh, garbage. That's a, it was a white linen shirt, and then it got, I don't know what, it got washed and turned. Discolored in the wash. I should clearly be working in the kitchen. It's well lit, but it's, I don't know, more depressing. Oh, Christ. Now we've moved decades earlier to stuff that I had as a kid. Okay, then childhood mixed with college age. Surprise, surprise, I found the other CD case. So it's either going to have missing CDs in it or it's going to be another case full of empty cases because the CDs were moved into something smaller. I probably should not have gasped so excitedly just for old CDs that are probably just empty cases, but it's something fun to sit down and look at old music. And what I haven't revealed to you yet is somewhere packed away, I'm keeping a combination CD player and iPod player because I've never subscribed to streaming, and I can honestly foresee a version of my life in which I play CDs again. I'm making my life smaller. Okay, we're going to go in reverse order. Sound Museum. I don't recognize that name. Cool case. It's got a post-it on it with my name, so it was probably a gift. I wish I had that disc. I think that's going to be the theme. The Sundays. Everyone else is doing it, so why can't we? No, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Purchased at the Princeton Record Exchange. Empty. The Smiths. Louder Than Bombs. Empty. Now, somewhere I've got CDs with no cases. B-52s bouncing off the satellites. Dog so large I cannot see past it. A WPRB compilation. Okay, I have that CD. All of these. REM Life's Rich Pageant. The Smiths Best 2. Put that with the Smiths. So they're not in remotely alphabetical order. Cake prolonging the magic. I might as well just, if they're probably all empty and they're probably all Beastie Boys. Hello Nasty. That's got intergalactic. No. Yeah, it's got intergalactic on it and body moving and XTC oranges and lemons, cake along in the magic, Moby, I think it's 18 or something like that. No, play, Moby play, beautiful South, choke, the House Martins, London, oh, not London nil, hole 4, 100% fun by Matthew Sweet, a custom made CD, New Order, the best of, They Might Be Giants, Why Does the Sun Shine? These, just seeing these gives me Beck Odelay, Ava Gold, and Blur, The Great Escape. Oh, just seeing these brings back memories. But none of them have music in them. So that was fun. Something I learned in a documentary recently is that on the Larry Sanders show, the way they did like real up close steady cam was a cameraman wearing rollerblades. Well, what's happened is somewhat predictable. I'm running down the end of my middle of the night energy, and I've gotten myself into stuff. Whoa, this is when I thought I looked cool. Should have moved to Europe then. Horkheimer hospitalized. This I used to print out Onion articles. Famed star hustler hyperventilates over arrival of comet. That is my kind of humor. Okay. Oh my gosh. Is this the missing? No, I guess I should put the two on this. Oh, it's just some kind of funky bookend. Amber glass. So I guess I'm glad I opened it because I don't want that. No, no, I don't think that's worth taking to Mexico, but it is really cool. This must be the other one. This is the thing. I'm actually questioning, is that worth taking to Mexico? Will I ever have a home with bookshelves where I need bookends? I mean, it's too many ifs. Too many ifs and or buts. We'll start with that tomorrow. Is this like a false square? It also knows a rectangle, but just don't make your rectangles almost squares. Very irritating. This is funny. This was a gift from a lunatic. It's Madonna wine. And there's really no one in the world to give this to. It's most definitely bad. Maybe it's collectible by weirdos, but because it's alcohol, I don't think I can put it in Goodwill. And the people who do my transactions don't seem interested in it. So it's kind of the same way with my porn. It's just like, well, nobody really wants it. Tons of keys in H&M bag. Politics, Rome photos, postcard from Budapest. Like that's it in this huge box. But we're not going to open it up tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for not joining me. Seriously, it's too much pressure when people watch. And oh, tomorrow's my day off, so I have another full day to get things to a point that I can deal with other people coming in. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to work well with others. I never have been. It's not often that never is the right word, but it is the right word. I've never worked well with others. Never, 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 never. And I guess to kind of bring it back around to one of the points I was making about the value of labeling and being able to say I have this and that's the explanation for. So in terms of it providing this group, it's like a camaraderie of people to sort of be understanding of your complaints. But but what I was trying to get at earlier is it's not like people who have the same diagnosis are going to be able to work well together. No. Um, so and then also I think the whole deal about labels and diagnoses, like these traits exist in others, are found in others. So people who don't have the label, I feel like by having these labels and I'm this is my condition, I feel like it. So I said it was too broad and too limiting. So it's too broad in the sense that everyone who has the label is still different in like infinite ways. And then too limiting because plenty of people who don't meet the qualifications for a label are reachable, have these experiences to some degree, I think. And yeah, there'll be like a sliver of people who can't relate at all. But whenever that's the case, you never know if someone can't relate to something, whether they just don't acknowledge it, don't recognize it. There are plenty of people walking around with undiagnosed, unaddressed conditions. And so, yeah, I mean, basically, I dropped out of psych. I felt that it was really obsessed with labels, with these like human created, you can't see that at all. Got the phone wet. With these human hierarchies that are made up. I don't know, it just didn't seem to be. I felt like the energies were misdirected to this like almost obsessive focus on naming conditions and describing them and diagnosing people with them and not so much just like being with people and relating and making the world better, easier. Okie doke, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. Tip my hair to you. Tip my headphones.